Listen, I get it. You make big decisions all day at work, yet at home, your woman questions you, resists you, or even shuts down. High-performing men don't deal with that because they lead in a way most men never really learn. I'm Natalie. I help married business owners strengthen their love life to elevate their business success. And in this video, I'm going to show you how high-performing men lead in a way most men never do, and how it earns them respect, deep connection, sexual attraction, unshakable trust, and lasting intimacy. This is what high-performing men know. They prioritize intimacy. Why? Because they know that intimacy for them fuels what they do at work. If they know that they're getting the intimacy that they need, they know that they are unstoppable in business. I know that's a little weird. Maybe you never probably heard that before, but it's absolutely true. Even just ask my fiance. If it wasn't for the deep connection, the intimacy, the love, the comfort, the peace at home, he would not be where he is today in business. When he joined this business venture that he is in right now, he was able to scale that business in 2 years, go from basically zero to 1.5, I'm sure it's even more now, $1 million in revenue. And he gives me all the credit, which is very sweet of him, but he can tell you with conviction that if it wasn't for the intimacy, the connection that him and I have at home, he would not be where he is today. He would say that I give him the courage, the conviction. He just would not be the man that he is today. And I know having that intimacy in your relationship just changes everything that you do as a man. And that's why prioritizing intimacy is extremely crucial. So how do you prioritize intimacy? Well, intimacy can mean different ways. I don't necessarily mean sexual intimacy because at the end of the day, men crave respect more than they do sex. So intimacy helps to create that respect back from your woman. So setting time aside with her when you possibly can, and when you have that opportunity to be with her, you simply just ask her questions that open up doors that you probably haven't even opened up before, for her to come open to you that she probably hasn't in a while, or probably never. So how do you do that? Well, I do have a free plan, a free guide in the description below where it tells you what questions to ask her that would help form this intimacy that you've been craving. So if you have no idea where to start, what questions to even ask, I get it. The free guide is below this video, so go ahead and go get it. And that will help with the very first step in terms of creating that intimacy that you've been wanting and also she's been wanting. Because mastery means connection, emotional and physical. The high-performing men don't wait for intimacy to just happen. They'll wait forever if they do. They prioritize in a way that they schedule the time, protect. Can we say protect? Protect energy and pursue passion intentionally. Anything that you do with an intent, you're going to get a specific result from it, a positive one. Same thing here, right? In your marriage. When you pursue your marriage intentionally, that's when doors start to opening up for you, not only in your marriage, but also in your business. So your marriage is an investment for you to do extravagant things in business. Without it, it's a lot harder. It really is, trying to push that boulder by yourself, trying to build this on your own. You know, your spouse, they are part of your team. They are your high quality, high valuable asset in your business and in your lives. So when you treat it like that, oh my gosh. Honestly, I say that with conviction and passion because my fiance treats me like that. He treats me as the highest valuable asset that he has, even though we're not necessarily completely in business together, not as of right now, but he still needs me. He needs me. He needs my intuition. He needs my belief in him to do unstoppable things at work. So when you intentionally treat her the same way like that, in your own way, that doesn't mean my way works with your way, but intentionally, when you shift your mindset, that paradigm in that direction, watch remarkable things happen in your business. Watch remarkable things happen in your marriage. what happens in your marriage fuels what happens in your business. So extremely, very crucial. If you know that you're not where you want to be in business and it has to do something much deeper than logistics and strategy, look at the fruit of your marriage. If it's not where you wanted it to be, if you're not getting the respect that you're wanting, the connection, the intimacy, it's going to translate in your business. I'm just telling you like it is. Like, again, my fiance can 100% testify to this. When I poured into him, when I believe in him, when I encourage him, he can do anything. He can literally walk on water if he wanted to. Maybe not to that extreme. And I wasn't this woman like this. I mean, you have to understand the background, my background was not like this at all. It was actually the complete polar opposite. I had a lot of growth that I had to learn myself as a woman to better cater to my man. And it's not easy. And in fact, when you have a woman that will pursue you, will do whatever it takes, even though she's not where you would want her to be, or she is not where she wants herself to be, the fact that she's putting in the effort, anything worthwhile does take time. So the fact that she's even putting the effort to be better, that says a lot, because it's not easy. And a lot of the times, a lot of couples, a lot of marriages, unfortunately, don't really stay green, don't really put in the effort. But honestly, at the end of the day, sometimes it just takes that one person, that leader, to take initiative, to take action, and others follow and others change. Obviously, we all know this. You can't change your spouse. You'll never change your spouse. It's already hard enough to change ourselves. Can you imagine double the work to try and change somebody else? No, please. I don't want to sign up for that. So how about you become better? And then naturally, they become better. Because in the beginning of this relationship, it was not lovey-dovey, butterflies. No, none of that. He wasn't the person that I wanted to be with. He wasn't someone I wanted to marry. It took me to change. And then naturally, he also started to change. He is the man that I want to be with over and over and over again. Forever, as long as I can possibly be with him, I would. For years and years and years, for centuries, if I could. He is a man that just blows me away every single day. I love this man with every being of what I have. And none of that would have happened if it wasn't for that one person to make the effort to change, to be better. And a lot of times it's just that one person from the marriage, but naturally they will start to follow, they will start to see your leadership, and everything else will start to change. It takes faith, it takes work, but the results, I can't even explain to you. There's no words. I can't make a video out of this, how incredible that feeling is. This is what high-performing men also do. They practice emotional intelligence, which is so attractive to a woman. Now, I know men, they're more logical, which is something that we also love about you guys. We love the fact that you're emotionally stable. I would hope so. And especially just building that emotional intelligence with her, that's going to bring more of her femininity out. When you intentionally practice emotional intelligence with her, that is extremely attractive, that she's just going to want to support you, build you up, help you become the man that you always desire to be, and more. I'm sure you've seen this before from most men. Most men react, but high-performing men, elite men, they pause, they process, and they respond with wisdom. There was a time in my relationship, we're talking about years ago. We're talking about maybe 8 to 9 years ago, to be honest. Yeah, I was not a really great partner for him at the time. I remember just kind of like, and this is really vulnerable of me to say, but I was just basically letting him have it, right? I don't remember exactly what I said, but we were in the parking lot and I was just like frustrated of myself, but I was, basically blaming him or just kind of like letting it all out towards him when it all had to do with me and my own insecurities, a lot of things that I obviously have worked on, and I am a completely different woman today. I don't even recognize that girl before. And you know what he did as I was letting him have it when he had nothing to do with this? Like, he has always been just completely respectful and honest with me. He just stood there, listened to me. And he knew that that was not me. But we're talking about 9 years later, and I still remember how powerful that was for me, because he just stood there and basically took the beating from my mouth, my words. And he just stood there, processed, and he just responded basically with wisdom. And to be honest, like, that made me think about a lot of things. I you know, he wasn't intentionally trying to make me feel bad. He just like was far more the bigger person than I was, obviously. He made me realize that I overreacted and I should have never done that. He made me realize that, wow, I've never met a man so emotionally stable, so emotionally strong to just stand there and take the crap. He didn't take the crap. He just let it, because he knew that wasn't me. And till this day, I remember how much of a masculine man that he is. And, you know, I mean, I've always knew that I wanted to be with him, but it just even made it clear as well, because, wow, I personally need somebody who is steadfast, strong-minded the way that he is. Of course, our relationship was very rocky at the time, obviously. Like, who does that to another spouse? I think that is just absolutely terrible. But then again, that's years ago, and we've learned from it, and we are so incredibly respectful towards each other today. We're completely different people. But just from that leadership alone made me realize a bunch of things about myself. And he could have not been with me. Absolutely. Like, who wants to be with a crazy chick like that? He could have not been with me, but we both worked it out together. And that is what marriage is about. You know, you're with your spouse, and you have to overcome these things. You have to grow. Marriage is a lifetime process. So if you're both willing to grow, that makes things a little bit easier for the both of you guys. And when you notice your flaws, and when you're aware of your flaws, first of all, you're in the right track. You're in the right direction. So after that leadership, among so many of other leadership actions that he does, I'm like, wow, that is very sexy. I can see myself marrying this person. If he wants to marry me back, you know, I get it. Anyway, so that was just an example of what I mean by elite, high-performing men, just having to pause, just listening, because they understand that it has nothing to do with them. Has nothing to do with them. When you stop taking things personal, you're going to start seeing the world completely differently. Like, because that person is acting the way that they are, they're obviously in a very low level in their life. They're immature, and that crap, I'm not taking that crap. They're on a different level that doesn't have to do, has nothing to do with me. And I'm just going to let them figure it out, because deep down inside, we all know that's not them. But if they're willing to figure out, great. If not, I'm going to keep going this way. I'm going to keep leading. I'm going to keep working on myself. If they choose to follow, great. If not, I got places to be, right? So that is what elite men do. Emotional intelligence makes her feel safe, heard, and valued, and it's building that trust instead of tension. Before I tell you the next steps, I have put together a free guide on the 5 steps to rebuild respect, connection, and support in your relationship. And if you wanted, just go ahead and comment below the video, give me the guide, and we'll send you over the link to download it. Now, this is what also high-performing men do. They stay curious, right? I don't know how long you've been in your marriage for, how long you've been in your relationship, but when you stay curious, meaning like getting to know her all over again, that keeps passion alive. I can't even tell you. Because unfortunately, a lot of times we take our spouses for granted. We feel like we know them. Oh, I already know them. That is not the right attitude to come into this marriage. There are a lot of couples who've been married for 20 something years, and they feel like they like they know their spouse, when in fact they're living with complete strangers. Okay, so when you're staying curious, you're asking the right questions. Again, free guide down below for those types of questions to ask her. Even tonight, helps you to stay curious. And it's a great guide for you to even start asking your own questions, because you intentionally are getting interested in her again. When you're staying curious, you are finding your spouse to be interesting. Do you find your spouse to be interesting? Probably not. Probably that is the absolute case. For a while, I thought he was just not interested in me, because he just didn't stay curious. He didn't. I was craving him to ask me questions. I was craving him. He's a great listener, phenomenal listener. I love that in men when they just listen. My gosh, take notes. Take notes. When you implement questions in it, it's even better. It's even better because you're getting her to talk. Obviously, you've heard of this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's the exact same thing. Yes, that book is phenomenal in business. It's phenomenal in sales. It's phenomenal to build an influence. But are you building all those things in your marriage? Are you building those influences in your marriage? Marriage is sales as well. Anything you do is sales. So when was the last time you genuinely asked her, hey, I'm interested in you, questions? So staying curious, because we do say that people never change. Some of us say that. But when in reality, we actually do change. Life involves change, and because it evolves with change. How do we expect to evolve we're human beings, part of an earth that changes. So human beings do change. The reason why we say that they don't is because we're not staying curious. We're not interested in them. We're not asking the right questions. We're not taking the time to listen there. And we have an ego, because I've been here. We have an ego that, oh yeah, I know them. No, that is all far from the truth. I can't even tell you. So stay curious, just like you stay curious in your business. You are probably obsessed in your business and what you do. I know it's very hard. Don't get me wrong. Building a business is not easy. Definitely not easy. But you stay curious. You learn. Because when you're in business and you're not learning and you're not staying curious, what do you think is going to happen? A business cannot stay stagnant because you have to stay curious in your business. Are you doing the same thing in your marriage? Yes or no? Comment down below if you want to be honest and tell me, no, I'm not, Natalie. Great. Most of us don't really stay curious in our marriage. For what? But if you do, like I said, your marriage is your greatest valuable asset. Treat it like one. Then great things will come out of it. Respect and attraction fade completely when curiosity dies. And high-performing men keep rediscovering their wife, her goals, her needs, her dreams. That is going to put her in a stage where she's going to want you. She's always going to be melting over you when you just take the time to get to know all of those things about her all over again. Curiosity keeps connection alive, passion alive, respect alive, intimacy alive. So do that. Start there with her, and you're going to see her melt over time for you. And naturally, with her own femininity, for all the perfect parts that she was created to be as a woman. That is a fuel that you need, that a man needs for him to be unstoppable in whatever it is that he is doing, leading. You need that from her. Invest into your marriage to make you unstoppable in business even more. Now, as a reminder, if you want to know how to rebuild respect with your wife, I have the 5 steps to rebuild respect, connection, and support in your relationship. Just comment below this video, give me the guide, and we will drop you the link to download it, or you can just simply get the link in the description below to grab it as well. And if you want to understand why the 1% of men get more respect, more trust, and more connection at home, I highly recommend that you watch this video next, because it breaks down how elite men listen differently and how that one skill earns them even more intimacy, more influence, and more admiration in their relationship. So tap it here right now to watch it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.